Yeah. Y'all better vote for Bronco Drama. A black president and shit, nigga. Oh, this shit fucked up out here, nigga. Ain't no work, ain't no jobs. Yeah. We still got bills though, nigga. Best believe, nigga. But through it all, yeah. What they want, homie? Yeah.
Hello guys, it's February and it's Black History Month, and I wanted to ask, is the NAACP still relevant? Some say that there is no need for the NAACP, that we have reached an advancement to where we are living in a race is not the question, and others say that while the NAACP needs to address racial disparities, that it's should still exist, but instead of going against protest discrimination, it should go against it should actually provide a social service. The race riots of 1908 in Springfield, Illinois had actually led to the lynching of at least one black person, and this led some of our greatest thinkers in that time, W.E.B. Du Bois and Ida B. Wells, great activists of that time, actually to that point where they formed the NAACP. And you have to excuse me, I'm actually looking at my notes right here. And basically this highlighted the urgent need for a civil rights organization to handle these issues of black people. And you know, I want to know what people today want from the organization. What do they think needs to be addressed from the NAACP? Particularly the African American community, the black community. I want to hear from some of you guys what your thoughts are. If the NAACP, in my opinion, were cease to exist, what would happen to black Americans? I think we wouldn't have an organization that would actually be able to deal with racial discrimination if it exists. That means that we're saying that racism does not exist, and that if it does, if we do witness it, then no one would be able to say anything or should say anything about it. And incidents of racial discrimination would just go, would pass us by. I think Obama being in the White House, I think that what the NAACP does do, it's a national association for the advancement of colored people, and not just one colored person. And I think there's still a lot of people of color that have fallen through the cracks of the system, and that there's going to be actually ages, you know, generations, more generations to come, where I think we can still use the services of the NAACP. And you know, just because we have a black man in the White House doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. I don't think that we're in you know, I want to ask some of you guys, do you think that you're in a post-racial United States? I don't think we live in the post-racial world yet, as of yet. That's just saying, like, as if we live in a post-feminism US. And just like you would say that there is still gender discrimination, that's just saying that the same exists for racial discrimination. You can't just say that there is no gender discrimination, because there is, and I still think that there is racist, racial discrimination. And some people believe that we live in a post-racial world today, as being in the United States. So I don't still think that we do live in a post-racial. I do believe that we have more progressive politics. There are more progressive politics that are being addressed as far as race relationships, as far as like in multiculturalism is concerned, and the way that we interact in our everyday interactions. I think where there's becoming more tolerance. But if you go to like the southern black states and some northern states, you will see big inequalities and disparities in the race relations over there. And I'm sure some blacks or African Americans from the South can actually agree with me on that. And I also think that the NAACP should cover gender discrimination, especially in the black community. I think that's one of the issues that's been put on the black burner as far as gender issues, domestic violence, wage issues, labor, child labor, child care services. I think those are a lot of things, and the NAACP does represent a social justice organization, and they try to not actually be a social service organization, because they believe that there is thousands of organizations that provide social service for the African American community. But I think also there should be more progressive politics as we're reaching in this age of information and this age of intellect and technology, and that those type of issues, the education issues, economic, homophobia, misogyny, sexism, those type of issues should also be addressed. I don't think that that the NAACP should, have a just pack up and say that we've closed down as an organization, because we still have the Jewish community, which is doing very well. I have nothing against them, but other communities, with particularly if you look at the Korean community that sometimes comes into the black community, that actually can set up, beauty shops and do nails, and you have the Asians that come in. We live in a multicultural society, so the black community still needs to hold its cultural identity, I believe, and still have the NAACP, and not actually be non-exclusive. Like I said, I want to hear from everybody. I think that we all can use the help of the NAACP, because the advancement of colored people, as far as historically the position, the social ranking that we've had in the society, has been able, especially for the Civil Rights Act, has been able to cross barriers and open the doors for so many Asians and Indians, and that's Native Americans and Indians, and people that felt like they were a part of the underclass, homelessness. I think it just, I think every day our president can be everywhere at one point in time, and we still need, as much as how they try to address the needs of African Americans, they should still address the needs of other nationalities and adapt new ways, new tools, and new methods to resist social injustice. So again, this is the Real McCoy Show. I'm Jasmine McCoy. Let me know what you think about the vid, and I just want to hear your comments in the comment box. Thanks.